Hey, I got my camera with me and we're going to be talking all about the Sony ZV-1F. Or are we? The Sony ZV-1F is not a real vlogger's camera, or is the ZV-1 and the 1 Mark II for the reasons I say. For me, you need to have that wind muff on. If you don't have that wind muff on, you're going to have the worst sound ever when moving, and if there is a breeze. Also, you need to use an external mic. Common sense. I'm using a Rode Wireless Go, and that's what's happening here. Do I look smooth to you riding with no jitters? Meaning electronic image stabilization is on, and I hardly ever use it. I want to put this into Catalyst browser, and somebody says you gotta raise the frame rate, the ISO, the shutter speed. Why? Why would we want to do that and put all this extra work and time into our workflow? A 1-minute video like this could take me 30 minutes in Catalyst browser when it's completed. Oh, don't get me wrong, I love the 1F. I love it so much, I want to go get the 1 Mark II. You notice how I'm not saying the name? But now, when I look at videos online and see what people say, oh, the Sony ZV-E10 is the best budget camera around. At what? $1,000+ after you get a good lens and everything for it? Not the best budget camera. The Sony ZV-1 Mark II can only run 1 full hour. Was it 64 minutes? 67 minutes the maximum? Something like that. Yeah, it didn't do a great job indeed. It didn't overheat in 24 frames per second, but it did overheat in 30 frames per second at about an hour's time. A little bit longer than the one. And when they did overheat, there is a symbol that looks like a temperature gauge. So micro small. Why can't you just put bigger icons in the camera on such a large screen, 3-inch? Hey, I'm Fish. Thank you very much for joining me. Please don't get me wrong. These are just my inner thoughts, speaking out loud, what I see out there and how I feel. But I do own this camera and vlogging with it. And it should do a good job. Now, I am holding it like this. My hands out far, almost towards the handlebars. And tell you what, if I hold it like this, that image stabilization takes everything away, it crops my head off. And I'm better off using an action camera to vlog, to get a shot like this with my hands close up. So for me, to get a Sony ZV-1 Mark II and have active image stabilization and on, it's not going to have that feel of a real vlogger's camera for me. And that's where I'm going to stick and stay with my DJI Action 3 or a GoPro Hero camera. I hold my camera on the handlebars like this a few shots. And let me tell you, you know, it's not a pocketable camera. And I say that for the reason of, it will fit in my pocket, but I'm not gonna have fun trying to put it in my pocket when I wanna just rest my hands and ride a little longer. The Action 3, I could simply slip in the back of my pocket and take it out. This, I can't even do that. Now I'm stretched out to arm's length. And I'm having, not second thoughts, I'm just having those thoughts saying, Fish, $1,000. What camera can I get for $1,000 of a Sony to be happy with? I turned you around this way so you get to see some of the shots over here that I sometimes do, like so. Rolling shutter. Is it happening with the fence as I start to rotate? Do you see any rolling shutter on the fence at all? a quick test of turning on and immediately hitting the record button to see if you heard me say a quick test turning on, to see if you get the idea. With the Osmo Action and the wireless mic, I don't think you get that, because for the reason of it doesn't have a battery inside the USB-C, and that's the issue I have. With the Rode Wireless Go, they both have batteries, so I know that test is really not needed. Did I accidentally hit record? I sure did. I do want to set up to take a picture. Can I take a picture in video recording mode? Am I allowed to do that? Not at all. There's something that the Sony ZV-1F cannot do: dual recording. Yeah, I try to take a picture while recording. I try to defocus the background. I just personally can't see that very little font. Maybe it should say green for defocus and red for focus when they put all those words on there. Get rid of the font, the essay that's on the camera and all those words. You just tell us we're defocused and focused. Now that's a shot. Seeing all the basketballs and all that good stuff in the water. I don't know, we see a lot of things. Now there is color in this shot. See the birds flying, seagulls, sun rising, all that good stuff. And I'm on a bumpy boardwalk, so this would help you say, hey, that image stabilization is great, Fish, doing a great job, man. It's holding strong. Just get your head into it. The sun's coming in your eyes now. What we're going to do is just make sure the camera is not in the sun. And we're going to see how well this camera can perform right over here. I always shoot on AI, the green. And my other camera, I have AI as well, and that works quite well. I don't want to fool with the S-Logs, because each one don't tell me what they are, and I gotta guess every single time until I master my camera. When I use this camera, I hardly do one of these. Zoom in. That's all it can go on 4K. Is that really a vlogger's camera if you can only zoom in and zoom out? Not even that. So I'm better off just going into the editor and cropping in digitally on there. And the same thing goes when I look in the distance. That's all I can do. Zoom, zoom, zoom. That's all you can do. A do. So you could almost say this is about the golden hour, the start of golden hour. I should be shining bright. You should be telling me, Fish, that M2 will be the camera for you. I don't know, $1,000 again. Well, the Sony ZV-1F, it does my job. Well, I hardly use product mode, and I don't like to have a bokeh. I don't like defocus. I'm not a fan of it. I don't even know if my background is the focus, because I see the words in red and all that writing again. I'm bokeh now. Look, it's trying to get my eye. It's got also a nice square on me. So you like seeing no background? How's that sun? Is it doing a good job right there? Bokehing it for you? Oh, you're missing that sunset. Let me get it off of background. Now it says again something I can't see. And even if I go into the camera, I'm really cropped in. Can you see the crispness of my nose running? How about now? Does it do a good job riding? It sure does. I'm happy, but I like for you to see everything around me and then to blur out a background. because you're not going to see a gentleman flying a drone in the distance over here, getting over the shots. All the way over there, that's the drone. He's flying right over. Definitely over the cars and all, right? Having fun, taking his shot. And there you go. And there he is, back over there having fun. Oh yeah, loads of fun. Maybe, hey, can you put the Sony ZV-1F on there? You see what it looks like from up above? Nah. Gorgeous house, beautiful lawn. Oh yeah, I've been down this block before. Look, a VW for sale. Man, that is an antique classic. I wonder if he'd take $10 off because the tire's flat. Ever had that thought and you never wrote it down and now you're wondering what you were saying and it's really, really slow coming back to me? The Sony ZV-1, the Sony ZV-1 Mark II, the Sony ZV-1F, and the Sony ZV-E10. Well, if I want to spend $1,000 for a 16mm lens that's going to crop in when you use image stabilization plus you got it, active stabilization. Look at this house. You'd be better off just taking all that money, getting yourself a Sony ZV-E10 for the reasons of put an interchangeable lens on, 16mm, and it may just about be pocketable for some. And you have all those features that they put into the Sony ZV-1 Mark II, but you have optical image stabilization, but you may have that little bit of that jello and shutter if you start to move the camera around. Now, all this shooting video on a full battery, the BX1, that's been around for well over 10 years. At 4K, an average of an hour, I'm happy. And that's where the E10 has a bigger battery, a larger battery capacity. And they could have went that way because they took stuff out of the ZV-1 and they could have put it into the ZV-1 Mark II, and they didn't. They just did not do it. I had to come down as closest to the water and see what it was about. Beautiful shot indeed. And I'm over there. Hey fish, how you doing? Yeah, I got my selfie stick, the Ulanzi NT8 stuck out. It's only about another a foot. And I'm holding my camera. I'm happy with it. I'm not upset with it. I could put it on the bicycle over here if I wanted to. I have everything all set up. I don't want to. I don't trust. I don't want to. I'm just not comfortable holding a larger camera on the bike where I could simply just grab my, action camera. I could turn it on and I could get my shots like so, being in the same amount of room over there. But if I bring it all the way back here, arm's length, and I'm far out there, which one does better? How about this? I bring it up both close, and that is on the narrowest view of an Action 3. The one thing I don't get, when you make a vlogger's camera, wouldn't you want to just have a feature in there that you hit the record button, automatically comes on with the video mode and recording your video? I'm not talking about flipping out the screen and opening it up, because you constantly turn the camera on, do a vlog shot, shut the camera off, turn it on, do a vlog shot, shut it off. I want to have that quick switch built in to a Sony. Well, then the camera's got to go up to $1299.99, right? I'm just not into getting a new camera when I recently got this camera. Well, I didn't get it yesterday or 2 days ago or a moment ago or a month ago. I got it a while ago. So to me, it's fairly new and recent. And I'm happy with the ZV-1F. I shouldn't worry about the ZV-1 Mark II. You know, when the real people get out there with their real reviews, we're going to really hear it. Because the people who are given the camera, they may have made a couple of videos on the side, and off they go. Man, we just leave our trash, seagulls take care of it, and there you go. I want to sit down, but everything's all wet, and I don't want a wet butt. So here I am. I'm now in the picture, and that is how many feet away? 2, 4, about 8 feet away. This is about 6 feet away and adjust it up just a little bit. I don't want to be that far away from a camera. So how much headroom do I have in the Sony ZV-1 where I got all this headroom in the Action 3? And if I come real close, like right here, where I can see that I still got just maybe that much headroom, but you don't see me. And the Action 3 is on top of the Sony ZV-1. I'm sorry, 1F. It don't make a difference. But you get the idea. Well, let me do this because I'm going to put it down on the bottom and it's flat on the table. That is there. But that camera is shooting forward straight while the other camera's on an angle. Beep, 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 beep. That's all I hear. Do you hear that? So let me just, pack this up, move it along that way. Now that's all with image stabilization on. And if I'm not buttery smooth, then I use Catalyst browser that puts so much work into my post editing. Don't use Catalyst. Don't use the camera. That's what he said. Man. So, the camera choices are out there for you. We all have all these cameras. Oh, I got an FX30. And I take my ZV-E10 with me, and I use the ZV-1 Mark II as my pocket camera. Oh, I have an EV10. I use this as my talking heads, and I use the 1 Mark II as my overhead camera. Well, I have my favorite shot, the FX3. Well, everybody's got cameras. Well, all those cameras added up, that's like $25,000 in gear. Oh man, I don't know, spending all that money for something that you want to add to your arsenal to make you better when you already got the best. This is what happens with me. I look for my camera and I go get it. And then I start to use the recent and I forget about what I have previously. And that's where the GoPro Hero 10 is now sitting on the side, because you use the Action 3 more often. Well, maybe I should go back to the GoPro Hero 10 for the reasons of, I know it's got some bugs and some issues. I like the fact that it turns on in 5 seconds to record than not knowing what I've captured with their quick instant on. Well, I did say a lot, I did talk a lot, I did share it a lot. And that's with the Sony ZV-1F. What's on my mind, my inner thoughts, just out loud, what goes back and forth. Oh man, again, it's like having that devil on my shoulder and that other devil, and they're both trying to manipulate my thoughts and just destroy me. And the two angels don't help. Oh man, what to do? What to do? Fish, 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 fish. Listen, fish. You have to really listen. Just listen. And you'll get the idea what's happening. And let me tell you, if you understand correctly what we're talking about. See? Fish. Just get out there and fish. Fish. You'll be fishing. Fishing. Right, fish? There you go. Listen to your heart, fish. And don't worry about what other people say. You're doing a good talk. You're sharing an excellent talk. And we all feel the same way, doing the same thing, and just making that decision, what's right and what's wrong, right? You'll soon see the light to understand what's right for you. Black, ling, cod, and fluke. Blackfish is early. I thought maybe blackfish would be later, more during the summer times. I get the talk and I get everything and I understand what's out there, and I just want to make my right decision once again. And I'm gonna just hold on back and just relax and see what's available later on. Because didn't the A6700 come out about as well? And now's the time for all this good stuff. Oh yeah, a lot of great stuff coming out. You just have to make that choice. What's right, what's wrong. You make a wrong choice, you live with it. You make the right choice, oh man, you're gonna be gloating. You're gonna be having a great time. Keep the Sony ZV-1F or whatever Sony you got. Leave it for the reviews cameras today. And we'll keep the GoPro and the Action 3. Keep that as on your Go camera, your vloggers, everyday stuff. Keep your mess around camera to the GoPro. It's more rugged and it's easier to clean and take care of. The one thing I don't like about my GoPro is the media module. If I wanted to take it with me, it adds bulk to the camera, but I get a 3.5mm jack. And one thing I don't like about the Action 3 is I'm subject to the external mic I own and have to give a special one. There's no way to hook it up. So they all got their ups and downs. Well, I said a lot, I did a lot, and really talked a lot. And I got a lot to edit on this. I just don't love one of the filing systems. I can't delete it all off on the computer. So to me, I got a little extra work to do. Just to give you an idea, I started out, I edited this video, didn't shut the camera off, and it's been running for about an hour's time. So I am very pleased with my Sony ZV-1F. It's just not pocketable on the go when on a bike. If asked, I have to take things down, close it down, and put it away. Again, on that note, I am Fish, and I see you on many other videos to come. I'm out of here.